Do you need me for something? Thanks for the help with the Ecliptic. I had it under control, but it definitely went faster after you jumped into the fight. Now tell me about the Ragana. Give me some good news, then we can go celebrate. Mercenaries. Guns for hire that shoot their own parents if they were paid enough. I'll tell you, we do a hell of a lot of dirty work in the Crimson Fleet. But we'd never sell away our souls like an Ecliptic merc does. You know what? I have no idea, and it's frustrating the hell out of me. I suppose I could have pissed off someone I screwed over in the past, but there's been so many, I've lost count. Huh. No kidding. That'll make Delgado happy, seeing as our hands are clean. I would have preferred if you hadn't left witnesses behind, but at least you got the job done. Anyway, you wanted into the Crimson Fleet? Well, you're in. Yep, it's that simple. Hope this business with Rakes taught you something. Because I'm about to stick my neck out and vouch for you. If you screw up, and I wind up looking like an asshole, I'm gonna send someone after you. We clear? Be careful what you wish for. You screw up bad enough, and I just might. And now that you know the deal, it's time to see what you signed up for. I'm gonna upload the coordinates for our headquarters in the Crick system. Spacers call it the key, the fleet calls it home. Head out there as soon as you can. Don't keep me waiting long.
I guess that makes you a pirate of the Crimson Fleet. All that's left to do now is to get yourself an eye patch and a parrot.
Vigilance indeed.
Commander Conde wants to see you.
Let's chat.
Follow me.
Greetings, Captain.
I had a friend on the Ragana. I hope I'll be able to see him next time we're on shore leave. The fleet killed a buddy of mine. This is more than a job.
Wherever the Crimson Fleet go, we'll follow.
You have permission to speak freely. We got the message from the Ragana about Austin Rick. We had him dropped off at a separate port, off the books. Suffice to say, he's got a lot to answer for. That's a smart line to follow. Part of this role you're playing means having to make hard choices. Just remember not to lose yourself in the part.
We wouldn't be the good guys if we did.
Oh, one more thing before we move on. For transparency's sake, you should know we were the ones that hired Ecliptic to attack Neva's ship. There was concern after what happened with the Ragana that you might have trouble earning Neva's trust. Coming to her rescue ensured that would not be a problem. but a gamble that hopefully paid off. On that note, how did things go with Neva? Were you able to join the fleet? Then it worked. You're in. Sounds like everything is going as expected. Now it's time for the next phase of the mission.
Our intel on Saoirse was correct. After we received reports on your interaction with Adler Kemp, we picked up on your rendezvous with Neva Mora.
Our files indicate she's second in command, so getting on her good side will ensure you get into the Crimson Fleet. Yes, you passed your first test and you're still alive. But before we get too confident, that either means she suspects nothing, or she intends to make an example of you later. Just remember, these are ruthless criminals, so don't let your guard down.
And their ruthlessness is only surpassed by their cunning. You should proceed with caution, regardless of how well you think you've ingratiated yourself.
So what's next for you on Neva's agenda? Where you'll meet Delgado, no doubt.
Delgado is the leader of the Crimson Fleet. I have a profile here with some information on his background. You'll want to know the individual cadences of every member of the fleet, but Delgado's most of all.
I wonder if the files mention any of his poker tales. Pirates and gamblers are basically part of the same genus.
You will be thankful you did the homework when it comes time for the test. In any case, now that you're with the fleet, you'll be operating independently. We will shadow you eventually, but we'll need to maintain our distance for now, especially while you're on the key. This will also give us time to bolster our defenses, should we need to engage with the fleet in the future.
Sir, on that note, shall we begin implementing the upgrade to our shields?
Immediately, Lieutenant. Notify the engineers and relay the information to the crew. I hope your entry into the fleet has overcome any doubts you may have had regarding your mission. It certainly increased my estimates on success. Keep up the good work. We'll expect further reports. Dismissed.
Dusty. Dusty. Let's talk. I just wanted to say thanks for the daring rescue back there. I had plans for Matsura, of course, but I appreciate the backup. It's good to be part of a team, isn't it? To be part of something so much bigger than any one of us. So many things can go wrong out there. Working with people you can trust is important. That's why I've been in Constellation so long. It's good to have people who will help out when you're in a jam. Just wait till we get matching shirts and start having official cookie days. I'm guessing gourmet chunks days are out of the question then. Don't worry, I'm just joking. Constellation is so much more than that. Speaking of which, I'm glad you joined Constellation. Just figured I'd mention it, since we haven't had much time to chat before. You know, being a member of Constellation has given me a lot of opportunities, and a fair bit of stress, I'll admit. It's hard to imagine just who I'd be had I never joined up. I would have never done so many things, met so many people. It's mind-boggling how different I would be. And I never would have met Irvin. Or lost him, I suppose. That's right. We can't know the consequences of the choices we never made, and anything beyond that is imagination alone. But for the choices we made, it feels just a bit closer, doesn't it? Irvin's been gone for over 20 years. Strange how memories can pop up when you least expect it. Yeah, don't worry. Logically, I know I should be over it. But I'm not, and it's gotten worse lately. I've ignored my feelings about Irvin's death since it happened. It's time for me to confront it. I'm just fortunate that Constellation has been a supporting home for me since Irvin died. I mean, where else would I get to dodge space pirates and discover new planets? On that note, I think I'd do well to distract myself with a little adventure for a bit.
Good day, Captain.
How are you, Dusty?
What are you hailing for? Land in the key or don't.
Get out of my face. You said the take was 10K, but it was 30. Big difference on 40% of 10 versus 30. You wanted 4K, you got 4K. Not my problem. If you're stealing from me, you bet your ass it's your problem.
You kidding me? Way to make a mess in front of my new work.
Hey, steal from me and get caught. Better off dead.
Sounds like you did the fleet a favor. Now toss this body out of an airlock before it turns into a damn air freshener. The hell took you so long? Forget how to grav jump or something? Please. It'd be one less sloppy rook whose mess I had to clean up. The last thing I need is another Austin rake getting cold feet. You want to leave the fleet? You pay the price. Not in credits, but in blood. Never apologize. Not if you want anyone in the fleet to respect you. And if they don't respect you, put a gun to their head and they'll get the message. But, all that aside, you made it. So now, you get to hear a nifty history lesson. Pencils ready? Good. This floating scrap heap you're standing on is called the Key. Used to be an old UC military star station, and now it's the fleet's base of operations. Might look a little beat up on the outside, but we keep it together. Hell yeah, it is. Just watch your back when you do. Cred sticks tend to disappear around here, if you catch my meaning.
Don't worry, I keep all my cred sticks in a secret... well, somewhere safe. Leave it at that.
Anyway, I'll tell you all about the key, but it's better if I show you too. Follow me.
Sure. I've got a minute.
All right. History time. So, the key is in orbit around Suvorov. That's the very same ice ball where the United Colonies built a supermax prison they call the Lock. The UC is so clever. Supermax prison, lock, key. Huh, cute, huh?
Hello, everyone. I'm Gail Dunnigan of SSNN, and this is Galactalk. My guest tonight is one of the most notorious criminals in the settled systems. His ruthlessness and desire for wealth has landed him squarely at the top of the wanted list for every major law enforcement agency in the galaxy. I am, of course, speaking of the self-appointed leader of the Crimson Fleet himself, Jasper Crix. Good evening, Mr. Crix.
Good evening, Gail. Thank you for accepting my invitation.
Yes, well, being blindfolded and then grav-jumped to what appears to be an abandoned mining facility isn't exactly what I'd call an invitation.
Well, I'm sure you're not surprised that your request for an interview would come with some very specific conditions.
Frankly, I was a bit surprised to receive any type of response at all. Would you mind telling me why you decided to do this interview?
Because there comes a time in every pirate's life where they have to make an extremely important decision. Do they take a leap and become one of the most legendary pirates in history? Or do they simply sputter on, subsisting on freighters and deep space privateers?
So are we to assume that you are taking the leap? That Jasper Crix is moving on to bigger and better things in his life?
That's spot on, Gail. That's exactly why you're here.
Interesting. Well then, would you mind sharing with us exactly what your particular leap entails?
In due time. There's no rush. In fact, I'd say we have at least 12 hours before the authorities trace this broadcast. Plenty of time to discuss whatever you like.
Oh, all right then. Perhaps the best place to start this interview would be at the beginning of your career.
Please, proceed.
Now, we've got everything the fleet needs right here. Of course, you've got to pay for it. Remember, on the key, credits are king. What the hell is this?
All right, hang on, Nev. Before you get pissed, I've got my hands full.
Jasmine, sweetie, I'm trying to give a tour here. So you want to tell me why those damn doors are sealed?
It's called a malfunction. You know, that thing I spend most of my day dealing with. Believe me, my people are on it. Have a little faith for once.
Aw. In you, always, Angel. This here's Jasmine. You need anything for your ship, she's got you covered. We'll hit up the depot next since these doors have given out on us. So anyway, we were talking about the Lock. About 100 years ago, the prisoners down there rioted and took over the place. After stealing some ships, they were actually able to make it up here and took over the key.
About time you brought us new blood, Neva. I was getting tired of trading with the same old faces.
You're just ticked everyone's getting wise to your ridiculous prices, ULTRA. Anyway, welcome to the depot, Rook, where you'll be lucky if these blood-sucking leeches don't bleed you completely dry.
Whoa. It's not our fault that people don't appreciate how much it costs to get untraceable merchandise onto the key.
Neva's just whining because she thinks she lost a ton of cash selling us a shipment of gear. She should have done her homework.
Yeah, sure, laugh it up. I'll remember that next time I need something from you cheapskates. Let's move on. Back to my story. After the liberated prisoners grabbed the key, they established it as a base of operations and began pirating the spaceways.
That was how the Crimson Fleet began. Of course, Jasper Cricks had a lot to do with all that, but, we'll get to him later. Rook, meet Zuri, Queen of the Rare Exports.
If I don't have it, you don't need it.
Neuroamps, blueprints. Hit her up and she'll take care of you.
Speaking of which, you still owe me for that last purchase, Neva. It's like 5 figures. Don't make me collect it the hard way.
The hard way? Oh no. Rook, protect me from Zuri's vengeance. Enough of the bullshit, Zuri. I'll pay you when I pay you. Deal with it. Got a problem with that? Take it up with the boss.
See
On the
anything
right,
you like?
you've got Bradley from the Trade Authority. I'm sure you know the deal there. He'll buy pretty much anything, no matter how hot. Then we got our med bay on the left, run by the one and only Samina Mizra. She'll patch you up, if you've got the money. We don't run any free clinics up in here, you don't? Okay, this is our final stop. Over there, you've got the Last Nova, where Bog serves watered-down drinks at ridiculously exorbitant prices. And right here is the most important place on the entire station. The Reckoner's Core, run by the incomparable Shinya Voss.
Another new Rook, Neva? I can't believe Delgado still lets you recruit given what happened with the last one.
You mean Austin Rape? It's been taken care of, all right? I don't like loose ends, and this Rook is the one who tied it off.
Perhaps next time you'll try to be a bit more discerning regarding your choices. It's far more cost-effective.
Yeah, love you too, darling. Anyway, Shinya handles our lifeblood. The money. We call him our Reckoner, but if you ask me, he's actually a pain in the ass.
And Neva will slit your throat if she thinks you'll bleed creds.
Go to hell, boss. Take care of our new friend here, or I'll find a way to pull the pin on that little party popper in your chest. Anyway, Shinya will get you set up in our system. I've got real work to do. Once you're done, head upstairs and I'll introduce you to the boss.
Time for a proper introduction. I am Shinya Voss, the official reckoner for the Crimson Fleet. And since Neva so thoughtfully mentioned it, yes, this is a bomb embedded in my chest. And no, I'll never know the meaning of the word humble. In fact, I find Delgado's idea of a security measure to be quite empowering. That's amusing. I don't think I've heard that one before. Oh wait, yes I have. You might as well dispense with all the stupid jokes. I've been hearing them for years. Since I oversee the bulk of transactions and maintain all accounts for the fleet, I'm a prime target for information. Should our enemies capture me or I grew any semblance of a moral conscience, you might consider me the greatest threat we have. For Delgado, the bomb grants peace of mind and a certain degree of safety. It's been over 5 years since I've stepped off the key. Leaving this place puts far too much at risk. Now, let me get you set up. A moment while I convene with the core. Thanks to advanced modifications even Ryujin would envy, I can interface directly with our mainframe and the Galbank network. This allows me to move and clean credits faster and more efficiently than any run-of-the-mill cyber runner. There, you're done. All you need now is Delgado's blessing, and you'll be one of us. The perfect segue into my final subject. Thanks to our relations with contacts across the galaxy, we always have a steady stream of jobs available. I've granted you all the necessary permissions to access these listings at any time, using the computers that surround the core. If Neva's chosen wisely, We certainly will. Now, I believe that covers all I have to say. So you can run along to Delgado. Take the elevator to the upper level. You should be able to find your way from there, I hope.
Alright, listen up. You can all stop complaining. Atrium to cargo bay doors have been repaired.
Of course, when the tour is over. Those crabs ain't gonna steal themselves.
Ah, there's our other new recruit. So, now that we are all here, it's time to get down to business. The two of you are the only rooks that have made the latest cut. The rest, well, let's just say they won't be joining us ever again. Neva's willing to put her neck on the line and vouch for you, which means you've got what it takes to join the Crimson Fleet. If dealing with the Ragana was at the limit of your capabilities, then you have a serious problem on your hands. You are already in too deep to quit. And I can promise you, it only gets more difficult from here. All right, let's get started here. When you sign up with the Crimson Fleet, you're in it for the long haul. No one quits. No one retires. The only way out is death. You stay loyal or you pay the consequences. Fleet before friends. Fleet before family. Fleet before yourself. Of course we have rules. If you think the Crimson Fleet was built on a lawless dream, think again. Our influence, our money, our respect comes from meticulous planning and every last soul in the fleet following my orders to the letter. That is why you need to learn to place the fleet before everything.
Hey, if you've got a problem, I can decorate that wall behind you with your brains. Room could use a little color if you ask me.
It's all right, neighbor. I admire this rook's backbone. Takes a lot of guts to crack jokes with the threat of death staring them in the face.
Can we get on with this? I want to get drunk at the last Nova.
I'm impressed. That is the first intelligent thing you have said this entire time, Mathis. Since you two seem so eager to move forward, let's get to your next job. Pack your cold weather gear, rooks. Where we are going, you're going to need it.
Oh, God, don't tell me you're dragging him down to Suvarol for another one of your little initiation runs. 10 Johns to the surface, 12 dead rooks. You'd think by now you would have given up on that goddamn campfire story.
Crix's legacy is no story, neighbor. We've got fresh eyes in the fleet. And if these two want to impress, they're going to help me search those ruins.
I hope you're right, Dale. That new code we grabbed for the lot cost us a ton of credits. And a decent captain.
This initiation, as Neva calls it, is your chance to see where it all began. On Suvorov with Jasper Crix. Crix led the riots that gave birth to the Crimson Fleet. And if his legacy is still out there, we're going to be the ones to find it. Through a bit of luck and a hell of a lot of cash, Neva was able to get her hands on an access code to the inside of the lock. This will be the first time someone from the Crimson Fleet has set foot in there for, well, since Crix left the place behind. It has been frustrating being this close to potential clues, but not being able to find a way through those prison walls. Before Crix left the fleet, he left a message talking about a major score. One that would set up the fleet to be a big player in the settled systems. Somewhere down the line, they started calling it Crix's legacy. And everyone who's tried to find it has wound up empty-handed, missing, or dead. If we're gonna beat those odds, we'll first need a lead. And I would wager we will find one on Suvorov.
Dale's leaving out the best part. That this whole search is based on a handful of words on a very old slate. Crix left a lot of big talk on that recording, and not a lot of facts. Some of us believe in it more than others.
Don't listen to her. When we get our hands on Crixus' legacy, the fleet will be operating at a completely different level. We will become more than a match for UC Systef. Only to a small-minded rogue. You want to be content with your petty crimes? Go join a gang in Neon. Okay, enough discussion. We have got a lot of work to do. To that end, the next stop is the lock. I've had Jazz feed the coordinates into your ship's computer. Since Mathis doesn't have a ship, he's going to ride with me. I'll see you down there, Rook. Don't keep me waiting. I could tell you stories that would last for hours. But now is not the time. You have a job to do, and I don't like to be kept waiting. When you... well, if you get back to the key, I am sure you can find some copies of the interview he gave to SSNN around here, somewhere. I think those recordings might give you the history lesson that you are looking for.
Yeah?
The fleet protects our own, but you turn against us, and you're dead.
So this is the key. I'm honestly impressed they managed to keep the thing operational.
So, looks like we got ourselves a new... Once again, I'm Jack. Like Neva said. It may not be wider. I can guarantee we got the best select. Anything that keeps the... Just let me know. All business and no... I've seen worse. See you around.
So there I am. You see security on my tail, and my grav drive just...
How can I be of service, Captain?
Fast and get out of here. I'm anxious to see the stars again.
Good to see you.
Have something
You
for
look
you.
well.
Hi. Please disregard. I attempted.
About time you got here.
I told you you were wasting your time, Del.
Yeah? We will see. And Mathis, I am running things around here, so keep your mouth shut. You got that?
Fine.
All right. Listen up, because I am only going to go through this once. We are here to dig up any info about Grix's legacy. We are not here to scrap for loot. Whatever you pick up, don't think, don't get creative, bring it straight to me. It's so simple, even a rook like you can't screw it up.
Hold on, no scrapping. How the hell am I supposed to make money around here?
All right, that's enough. If either of you want to fly with the Crimson Fleet, then you need to follow one simple rule. When you're on a job, you do exactly what I say. No, if that doesn't work for you, just say so, and I will leave you on this ice bar without a ship. You will be dead within hours.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's one more thing. Your little friend can tag along until we get to the outer doors of the prison, but I will be damned if I'm letting them inside.
You go on now. I know how to handle myself on iceball planets. Trust me.
We have a lot of ground to cover between the landing area and the lock, so let's get moving.
Okay, if you insist. Did you get that particular piece that... Yes, that right there. Excellent. Ow, ow, ow!
Crimson Fleet!
That was a weird noise. Look out!
Here we are. The place where Jasper Griggs laid the groundwork for finding the legacy and eventually the Crimson Fleet. The lock.
Yeah, he needs to get this thing open, like, right now. It's freezing out here.
Then crank up your suit heat, Mathis, because it's probably not going to get much better once we are inside. All right, let's keep moving. Standing out here isn't doing us any good. This ID card cost a small fortune. Let's hope it pays off. We are in. Let's go. First time I have been inside this part of the lock, so keep your eyes open. See anything unusual, call it out. If it's hostile, take it down. Listen, how many people did the UC stick down here, Del? A couple of hundred at least. Might not look like much, but it was better than trying to survive on the surface.
Much better. Even with the heating on, this place looks like a goddamn dump.
Now you know why the prisoners got fed up and looked to Griggs to lead them out of here.
And that's how the Crimson Fleet began. Yeah, we've all heard the story.
It's not a story, Mathis. It's history. Remember that. Now, keep your mouth shut and your eyes open. Like this for the rest of your life.
Yeah, sure. Must have been awful. Better them than us, though, am I right?
Wait, shut up a second. Did you hear that?
Wait.
Back off!
What was that?
Take them all down!
I'm going for it! I'll show you what the Crimson Fleet's made of!
Must be a nest. I bet these things are crawling all over the place.
Yeah, and their buddies probably heard us firing from about 1 kilometer away. Hallelujah. If we weren't on this job with Delgado, I'd drop you for saying that.
Enough already! I should have known better than to bring both of you at the same time. Now let's see. Looks like we are inside some sort of prisoner transfer area, but everything is locked down tight. Since you are such good friends, why don't you and Mathis head up to that control room and see if you can get some more of these doors open?
Well, this is just great. The hell are we supposed to do now? Yeah, sure. I've got a few spare months to cut through all that rock and ice. Let's face it, we're on our own now. Why? Because that's what his loyal little soldiers are supposed to do? The hell with that. I have a better plan. We use this opportunity to take out Delgado, and at the same time, make some serious credits for ourselves. I had a feeling you'd be on board. Okay, here's my plan. Let's pretend for a second Delgado's correct, and there's information here about Crix's legacy. Once we get rid of him, we'll dig up the garbage ourselves and sell whatever we find to Neva. We'll be rolling in credits. Playing it safe, huh? I can respect that. But you better have me back when I make me move. Now, let's find a way out of here. I guess that's one way through. If we get out of here, remind me to thank Delgado for hanging us out to dry.
Okay, Zouch. What the hell was so important that you had to drag me all the way out of A Block at this hour?
You know Jasper Crix over in D Block? He's busting out of here, and he wants me to join him.
Crix really thinks he can bust out of the lock? Why the hell am I just hearing about it now?
Crix only told the few people he trusts. He even told us to keep it to ourselves, or he'll cut our throats.
Then why the hell are you telling me?
Come on, I gotta explain this. It's because I like you, Rickard. And I want you to come with me. We've been meeting in this storeroom for months to, well, you know. I was hoping we had something a little more than that.
Damn, Zouch. I didn't know you cared that much. You give me the signal and I'll... Oh shit, wait. I forgot to turn off the recording.
Recording? What the hell, Rickard?
We never meet down here this late. I thought you were gonna kill me, alright?
Kill you? God, no. I love you. Alright? You gotta make me say it. Shit.
I'm sorry, baby. Here, let me turn this thing off and I'll apologize. Okay?
I swear, I am never putting ice in drinks. Ever again. 100 years old.
Damn it.
It's amazing this entire
Is anyone
place
there?
hasn't collapsed by now.
Use the intercom up there if you can. Crap. Is this thing even on? Waiting to hear back. Answer if you can. So the two of you made it, huh? Well, brush the dust off and listen up. We have obviously been cut off, so I need you to do two things. First, I want you to keep looking for a way to open the rest of the doors down here. Otherwise, I'm not going anywhere. And second, try and dig up whatever you can about Jasper Cricks. You both got that? Yeah? You'd better. And tell Mathis not to get any bright ideas, or I will gut him myself.
Attention. Lockdown mode has been rescinded.
Can you imagine how angry the prisoners were when they rioted? I would hate to have been one of the guards. Looks like there's a guard tower overlooking the cell block. We should check it out. Remind me to take me next vacation somewhere a wee bit more comfortable, like a desert planet. There's got to be a way out of this goddamn place. get out of here, remind me to thank Delgado for hanging us out to dry. So have you thought about what I've said? Yeah, right. You saw it back there. Those things, whatever they were, they've probably ripped him to shreds by now. Did the job for us. And if they haven't, we can still handle the job. We just have to get our hands a little dirty. Wouldn't be the first time, am I right? You got a point. All right, I'll follow your lead for now. So, now that we've made it to the guard tower, what's our next move, genius? Keep doing what we've been doing. Right. Glad I asked. I suppose we should start off by searching the tower for the location of Crix's cell. If he stashed any useful information, it might still be hidden somewhere inside. Cell D03118. Okay. It's a place to start, I guess. I swear, I am never putting ice in me drinks, ever again.
all yapping about a ship carrying a fortune in credits. I know it's usually bullshit, but he seemed to have details. After striking up a conversation, I found out the ship was a Galbank transport named Legacy that went down in some remote system during the war. This is exactly the score I'd been waiting to find. I need to contact Carter to let him know it's time to get off this rock. He'll help the mining details slip into the utility closet in the ventilation room. That's where we'll dig. Not up, but through. Right to the armory. Carter mentioned that security keeps rotating codes on all the terminals in the lock, so we'll have to coordinate this carefully. For now, we'll continue using his locker in the showers area as a drop point for the code to the utility closet. By this time next month, I should be out of this dump and uploading those creds into my account.
Delgado was right. Criggs must have hit the Galbank transport and stashed away the money or something. We play this right, and we're gonna be filthy stinking rich. While we're picking through the trash, we might as well grab some good stuff for ourselves. Can't believe this is where the fleet started. It's history, man. Blows me mind.
tells me it'll take them a week to cut through the ice, so I'm giving you that long to square your end of the plan. When the tunnel reaches the armory, I'll get my people to start a riot. When you hear the fireworks go off, get your ass to the shuttle bay. We get one shot at this. If we play our cards right, this gets us one step closer to that fortune that went down with the legacy. You report any of this to the guards, well, you know what'll happen.
How can these things live in this kind of cold? That's bullshit. And here I thought we were going to be doing something fun, like rob a bank or something. I bet those things are crawling right behind the walls. Ugh. I would hate to have been one of the guards. Was this an armory? Looks like they cleared this place out. Well, well, what do we have here? Give me a sec. This ought to come in handy. All right, let's keep moving. Nothing to worry about. While we're picking through the trash, we might as well grab some good stuff for ourselves. If we get out of here, remind me to thank Delgado for hanging us out to dry. Give for a space heater and a hot couple of dogs. Incoming! Slow us down! Look at this dump. I can't imagine being stuffed down here a lot. Poor bastards. Next to the shuttle bay for quick escapes, I bet. Smart.
Where have you been? Pick up on the intercom. ¿Qué carajos took you so long? Use the intercom. I hope you found something because I am getting sick and tired of this place. I'm the only one left. Damn creatures finished off the rest of my people. But finding the legacy, that is going to make their sacrifice worthwhile. I don't know. Looks like some kind of a security office or something. It doesn't matter. Did you find anything or not? I knew it! Everyone said I was out of my mind. But something told me.
Yup, that's right. It was a team effort all the way. We had each other's backs though.
Is that Mathis? Tell him to shut up so I can...
Yeah, sorry, Del.
Okay. Now all we have to do is find a way off of this planet. let me see. Here we go. I'm looking at schematics for the lock, and I don't think there's a way to get you back to the surface from there. But I can open the outer doors to the shuttle bay and let you fly one of the shuttles down there directly up to the key. Yeah, sure, and I wish gold coins would start raining from the sky. Now, if wishing time is over, maybe you'd be kind enough to stop running your mouth and listen for a change. Okay, let me see. One of these probably opens the door.
Shuttle bay activated. Initiating the icing process. Please stand by.
Yup, that's got it. Might take a while, though. Those bay doors have not been opened in almost a century. You have done a hell of a job, Rook. We will talk when you get back to the key.
Look, well, I wanted to thank you for not being a jerk and hounding all the glory on this run. Cool. Look, about all that killing Delgado stuff, why don't we just forget about everything? Thanks. I promise that you won't regret it. Now, let's get the heck out of here. way you need all that junk.
When you're not busy, let's chat.
Greetings, Captain.
The fleet is family. Stealing from each other is just what you call a professional courtesy. So there I am. You see security on my tail, like grab drive gesture. Blackest speech I've ever seen. Well, nearly got me dusted.
Soon, everyone is going to learn to feel it.
the fleet.
There you are. The hell took you so long?
It's about time. I was about to fly down and loot your bodies.
Not now, Neva. Well, you said you found something. Hand it over. That's it? Just one slate? After losing so much of our crew, it better be a map with a big red X on it. Well, I'll be damned. Legacy wasn't referring to Crix's fortune. It's the name of an actual ship. A Galbank transport probably loaded with credits.
Never heard any stories about a Gal Bank ship going down. And even if it had happened, it would have been picked clean years ago.
No, Neva. Think. If Galbank covered it up, and over time, the location was eventually forgotten, it wouldn't be on anyone's radar. Okay, this changes things. Now that we know what we are looking for, we have to narrow the search. And the recording that you found proves that it is out there. All we have to do is find it. Let us start with what we know. It was a Galbank ship, which means the company is going to have records of where it went down. Neva, weren't you working on a deal with Rokov? Something about a big-wig charity event on one of Trident's Starliners?
Are you serious? I've been working on that gig for 3 months. That's my score.
Ay, Dios mío. Will you shut up about your score and think for a second? That Starliner has a Galbank VIP suite aboard, which means... Come on, Neva. This isn't hard.
Which means a Gal Bank exec will be aboard. We grab their credentials and get ourselves into the Gal Bank archives in New Atlantis. Holy shit, that might actually work. I'll send a message to Rokov right away.
Pack your bags, Rook. You're going on vacation. And since you've earned it, take this gun with you. Might come in handy when Rokov screws everything up as usual. Good, because that is exactly what you are going to be doing. Neva and I are too well known to walk around the Starliner without being recognized. If Trident Security spotted us, it'd be over. I need you to board that ship, make contact with Rokov, and get me those credentials. You'd better. Oh, before you leave, I wanted you to know that I took what you said about Mathis into consideration, and I've decided to let him join the fleet. Because you're the one that finished the job. You followed orders, and you put your neck on the block to get that data to the key. As far as Mathis goes, I'm sure you had to drag him through the lock and prevent him from doing something as stupid. We'll see. That's it then. Next stop for you is Rokov Starliner, the Siren of the Stars. And remember, Rokov does not need to know anything about Grix's legacy. For now, it's just between us. Now get out of here.
Hey, Rook. Before you head out, I need to have a word with you. Meet me at the last Nova after you wrap things up with Mathis.
If you have any last questions about the job, ask them now.
Wrap your business up with Mathis, then we'll talk.
Hey, I wanted to thank you one last time for not ratting me out to Delgado. And telling him how much I pitched in. That was pretty damn cool. If he would have found out what I was planning, well, I don't even want to think about what could have happened. Oh yeah, sure. Anything you need, you just ask. And I'll be there to back you up.
Can't wait. Bye now, Mathis. I hope we're never in such dire straits that we need to depend on that guy. Stay safe!
You just, take care of yourself out there.
I'd say we should try to blend in, but everyone's too drunk. Now isn't the best time, but I need to talk with you later. I've been thinking a lot about my early days in Constellation lately. Got me pretty nostalgic, and I started digging in some old things, just sort of reminiscing. I found some of Irvin's last messages to me and thought I'd listen to them again to hear his voice. It was surreal, honestly. So most of the messages were everyday things. Lots of excitedly written news about biodiversity and plant life. But one thing stood out. In one of his messages, he mentioned this job that he took at a mine shortly before he died. He said something terrible was happening there. The message was garbled after that. True, but this was different. I recognized this pattern from the war. A portion of the message was encrypted. Well, Vasco helped me decipher it. Turns out the message was from Irvin, and he was begging me to help him. The message was short, but his voice was pained. He was so upset. I know this is probably long done, but I heard his voice. I can't just not look into it. So in this message, Irvin said he was being framed. He said they'll do it again. He asked if Constellation could send more help. His former employers had some job he took before he died. I think it was a mining company. Not exactly sure, but he mentioned a court case. So I think there's a paper trail. No, I just thought it was garbled. I just wasn't paying attention. I don't know. It is, but I was thinking about it and, well, it's still wrong, right? So I figured, hey, I can do some sort of a remote investigation here, see what I can find out. There's gotta be a paper trail, right? Now, I happen to have a trustworthy contact who knows a bit about law and owes me a favor. I'd need to pay in advance in case there are any access fees or bribes. That works. I'll tell them to go ahead with the investigation. You know, hearing Irvin's voice again made me want to help him, even though I know I can't. I appreciate that. It's going to be hard to get some sleep tonight after all this. But the fact that I'm doing something about it might be enough to help. Hopefully poking around in old records doesn't catch the attention of Hephaestus. Well, anyway, I'll let you know if my contact finds anything.
The fleet's the only family you need. There you are. All right, look. I've been lining up a score with that asshole roll call from the Siren of the Stars for months. I'm not about to let a payday slip through my fingers. So guess what? You're gonna finish the job for me.
My friend's got a point, Bug. Every pirate in this joint comes to the Nova for a drink.
Seems to me, instead of trawling deep space for stick change...
I'm about to tell you, so shut up and listen. Rokov's been tipping me off about some kind of bullshit charity event that the Siren of the Stars is hosting. At the event, they're gonna give away something called the Earth Savior Award, which is worth tens of thousands of credits. So it's simple. While you're on the Siren, swiping those Gal-bait credentials, I want you to grab that award and bring it to me. No. Dombrowski's only aboard to use the Gal Bank VIP suite, so he can catch a free ride at the company's expense. I'm sure he'll be there partying with the other spoiled brats. I guarantee he doesn't give a crap about what's going on at the event. Yeah, very funny. You're hilarious. You should stand up on the bar here and start telling more jokes. This crowd would eat it up. Look, you can make all the jokes and excuses you want. But if you don't come back with the ES award, I'm gonna deduct it from your pay. Either way, I get my money. How much you walk away with is in your own hands. Got it?
Don't worry, I took notes. Sorry. I meant that seriously.
Yeah? And who do you think Delgado's gonna back in a dispute? You, over me. Psh, please. All right, Rook, we're done here. Now, get your ass to the Siren and bring me my goods. Because that's exactly what you are. A rookie, a newbie, fresh meat. Beneath all of that inexperience, I'm sure you have an actual name. But honestly, no one gives a damn. So get used to hearing that word. Until you earn your stripes, you're a rook to everyone in the fleet. We'll talk later.
To the nicest places.
Are you looking to start something? Because I'll finish it.
Bog's grog is fine if you like cheap moonshine. Give me an Yeah.
Good day, Captain.
Haven't gotten yourself killed yet,
Dad, do you think Solomon Coe would have liked me?
Sure. Everybody likes you, don't they?
Do you think he would have liked you?
Well, if you listen to your grandpa, Solomon Coe would have given me a good whooping. But I think he would have liked the man I grew into.
Every time I return, it seems like the city's a bit more crowded. Delightful relic tangled up with hope, grit, and science. Lay it on me. Tired of me already? Well, we can cover more space separately this way.
I know everyone's excited by the artifacts, but we need to be as objective as possible and be aware of possible negative effects. I have to say, I'm impressed. You've adjusted to this whole endeavor better than I would have expected. Not that that's any sort of assumption about you, of course. There's just, well, this is a lot to take in. We probably should have spoken before now, but I didn't want to get in the way. I'm Noelle. It's really nice to meet you. And thank you for bringing the artifact to us. Planning on sticking around then? Good. I think we can find a spot for you. And along the way, I can give you the very abbreviated tour. Right. So you've seen the library, obviously. Walter is quite proud of the collection, but Mateo has made more than a few contributions. Gardens are out the doors there, if you need a moment of quiet contemplation. Emphasis on the quiet part, at least usually. Let's head upstairs. Sebastian Banks, Constellation's founder, had this place built decades ago. It was a big to-do at the time, but most people in the city have forgotten we're here.
Can I help? Yes? I'm more than ready. Let's go.
So this is the bar. Usually no tender, so help yourself, within reason, of course. Now let's see about that room. You're in luck. We were almost at max occupancy already, but there's still one room up for grabs. It's been nice having the place so full. Okay, this'll be you. Common room on one side, so that'll be quiet, and Mateo on the other side, so maybe a little less quiet. I'm sure Sarah has something planned for each of us, so I'd better get back to it. Don't want to keep her waiting too long. Enjoy!
What can I help you with? Bye.
mad scientist out in front of mast, staring at trees, sounds upset. Whatever it is, it can't be that bad, right?
Hello. You will be scanned as you enter the city.
I'll be at my booth if you need me.
Recycled air. Just isn't the same as the real thing.
Got your ping loud as a bell. Eyes ready to let you aboard.
Dad, can I have a pet?
A pet? We live on a starship, where pets and starships don't always mix so well.
Aw, come on, please.
Hello, Captain.
We got a rook on deck. Good to see Constellation getting some fresh blood. Former Crimson Fleet. An old jackalbones would be the term for it, back in my day. Left that life behind me. Even before I signed up with Constellation, I was retired.
Glad you two finally have a chance to meet.
Wish I could have been down at the lodge to see the artifacts come together. But I got a little lost peeking through the eye. That one's all on me. The eye is the nickname for the star station. Think of it as one big telescope. Probably would have just gotten annoyed at being bothered. I'll catch a smile at our next big revelation. You know there's more to come. Now, this station, the Eye, rigged up for deep space scans. Barrett and Sarah teased out the signs of where our artifacts could be hiding after we caught our second one. But the data takes a slow ride along the Sea of Light. Years or decades between us and the fringes of space without a grav drive. No matter how good the scan, it's still just peeking at light, and she only has one speed.
Ultimately, we're not looking at a planet. We're looking at the radiation coming off a planet. And that takes years to get here.
Lot of interstellar bodies in the way, too. All that noise makes squaring the circle harder. Only going to be able to give you so many at once. You won't be the only constellation out there. Andreja and Matteo are both following up on scans themselves. Matteo went out recently, but Andreja, it's been a while. Hate to pull a worried old man act on you, but I'm an old man, and I'm worried.
Yes, indeed. Stop worrying so much, Vladimir. If she's out there, we'll find her.
She should be at one of the 2 sites I've marked on your star map. Can take care of herself, but we all need backup sometimes. Anyway, hopefully you'll be catching Fortune's smile, and we'll have some more artifacts to take a closer look at. Happy hunting. Usually it doesn't. I'm overdrawn from Lady Luck 3 times over. It's a long tale to tip your ear on, but if you ever wanted to visit, I have a house out there in the Starfield. Thought I was going to see life's eclipse from there, but constellation swept me away. Haven't been there since we started on the Eye. If you do go there, turn the lights off when you leave, okay?
We should have a talk. When you have the time, of course. Remember our last conversation, when you told me the artifacts made you feel like you were being pulled across the entire galaxy? Well, it got me thinking. So I dove into our archives and started looking through Constellation's older journal entries. Just because I wasn't familiar with the experience you described, doesn't mean the same might have been true for my predecessor. Really? I'm surprised that I haven't. After reading those journals, all of the pleasant memories of my time spent with Aja just started flooding back. Oh yes, absolutely. I didn't mean to compare. Those were just... oh, I don't know. Different times. Aja was the one that taught me the ropes at Constellation and took me under her wing as her protege. Now that you mention it, you're probably right. Either way, we logged quite a few interesting discoveries together. Honestly, it wasn't so much what Aja and I discovered in our travels. It was the journey that was memorable. Exactly. For me, it was all about the quieter moments. There was nothing quite like sitting back and watching space bend while listening to Aja spin vivid stories to fill the time. Oh, I find that sort of cozy isolation the best way to really get to know someone. I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. You know, all this talk about Aja reminds me that my time with her was a gift. I miss her dearly. I respected her, and I considered her a dear friend, but we weren't in love. Had that been true, I would have resigned my post and moved to Parima 2 instead of remaining at Constellation. Come to think of it, if we're ever out that far, perhaps we could pay her a visit, and I could make proper introductions. Well, I don't expect you to be a carbon copy of Aja. Just be yourself. You see, it's clear that we share the same hunger to discover what's out there. And that, well, that's what intrigues me about you. I don't know if I deserve to be that close to anyone right now. If you knew about the things that I've done, the way my life's unfolded, I think your opinion of me might change. Please, give me some time. I have to go.
Captain, it is pleasant to see you.
For now, before you leave? Hey there. Time to get moving.
Stranger. I just finished cooking up some food. If you want to come on over, just pop on by.
Mining can be extremely dangerous, as I'm sure you know very well from personal experience. Anything interesting in range?
Don't come any closer. Identify yourself. You are from Constellation. Vladimir said someone might be coming. I'm just glad we found you unharmed, Andreja. Vladimir and I were worried. You are the newest member, yes? Do they often send you to check up on other, more senior members? Perhaps. I suspect Vladimir worried you might find me on the ground, instead of this one. We waste time. We should complete our mission and then we can talk.
Please do not interfere with my tasks. Please proceed with caution. There is heavy machinery operating in this area. This is now a combat zone.
Always worth checking. I don't know what you might find in their pockets. Come then. Meet your death. Come on!
Let's see if they've got anything worth taking.
you don't need any of this, I'll be happy to take it off your hands. Respond when I called to you after you pulled out the artifact. Does that mean Barrett's theory and experience were correct? The artifact grants the first person who touches it a vision? The fact that it has happened to both you and Barrett is already more than we had before. I think it is important that we discuss what you saw back there. That man. What I had done. It was, yes. I appreciate that you see it that way. A very practical outlook, not one I find is shared amongst members of Constellation. May I ask what your background is? Argos. I have heard of this company. Small, reckless. Interesting. I do not have experience with this profession, but I have my own experiences with risk. We both seem to be unusual additions to Constellation. Please, I would ask that you not mention to Vladimir the circumstances in which you found me. This is not the first time that Va'ruun zealots have attempted to corner me. If it is known that this has happened again, well, it has been a while since I was given an assignment on my own. I would not want it to be even longer in the future. Do you understand? You are unfamiliar. This is a surprise. Few have not heard of them. They are fanatics, having taken the teachings of House Va'ruun and twisted them into a belief that the galaxy must be wiped clean before the Great Serpent's return. So, in this I would say I have done the galaxy a favor. Yes, it would seem they have not yet learned how much it will cost them. But then that is their fundamental problem, is it not? An inability to see anything other than the path which they have created for themselves. If that is the case, so be it. I am just trying to avoid complications. Unnecessary worry for Vladimir. It should be clear by now that I am more than able to take care of myself. I will finish here and return to New Atlantis when I can. You should go now, as they will be expecting us. I will meet you back at the lodge.
I've heard asteroid mining is some of the most dangerous work in the settled systems. You've got something for me? Dropping off a few choice items? Time to go?
Captain, hello. I am satisfied to see that you survived.
Time to get this shit moving.
Hey, Dad. Want to hear a poem I wrote? It's called a haiku. I just read about them.
A haiku, huh? Sounds exciting.
It's called Space. Space is cold and dark. Starships fly there like comets, carrying us home.
Not bad. Hey, will you write it down so I can carry a copy with me?
I'll copy down too. You know how you lose things. I still don't know how you lost that picture of Nibbles the accommodating bunny.
This is a Freestar starship! What are you thinking?
How can I be of service, Captain?